What's going on, guys? Fun with Knives back again. I have yet another knife review for you. This is the Kershaw Emerson collaboration CQC 8K. They released 8 models in the beginning, and this was the largest of those. They recently came out with a 4K XL and a 9K that were bigger than this one. But I'm really attracted to the whole series. I think it's a great idea. It's a great collaboration where you're getting some Emerson features with some Kershaw build quality. So as usual, guys, I will give you the specs. We'll get into how I've used the knife, how I like it, and just my couple criticisms about it. So we have a 3.5-inch blade, a 4.6-inch length close, and an overall length of 8.1 inches. The weight on this thing is going to be 5.4 ounces, and then a blade thickness of 0.12, a handle thickness of just over half an inch at 0.51. So this is a big knife, no doubt. It's not too thick in any dimension, but it's a long knife, and you know, with long knives come great ergonomics, which we'll get to. But first, let's focus on this blade here. 3.5 inches of 8CR 13 MOV. It has that black oxide coating. And just like most Emersons, I believe, this is chisel ground. So it's only ground on this one side. I didn't know how I felt about that for the longest time. I've used this knife a ton. As you can see, this tip is very chipped. I got a big burr in the blade. It's nice and dirty because I've been carrying it. But I do like the chisel grind. And I think Ernest Emerson does that because he says it's easier to sharpen in the field. And this thing is a breeze to sharpen. I mean, you just kind of sharpen the one side, and then your backside, you're good. You're done. That means that your edge is going to be very keen. This thing is just stupid sharp, and it just looks cool. So this is obviously a Tonto, kind of a modified one at that. It's got some great grind lines on it. I'm assuming this is somewhat of a hollow grind here. Emerson knife designs and the skull logo there. And then on your backside, you just got the model number and Kershaw. These are all Chinese produced. That's how they keep this price point down. So let's look at deployment here. This is a manual folder with this thumb disc here. I like the texturing on these thumb discs, but very easy to deploy. It's riding on Teflon washer, so it's fairly smooth. You can do the slow deployment, or you can flick it out with your thumb. Not a whole lot of wrist action needed, and you can do the middle finger flick if you like. But the main calling card to the CQC series, and that is close quarters combat, is the wave feature. Snags on your pocket and then just rips that knife open as you withdraw it. You know, it's just a great feature. If you guys want to know how that came about, kind of look it up. It's a pretty cool story from Ernest Emerson. So blade shape, I actually like it. I know Tontos are made for some of your more self-defense tasks and that kind of thing, but they can be useful in an EDC setting. And with how long this blade is, you do have a lot of edge to work with. This here with the jimping on top, that's definitely meant for some drag cuts and things like that. We're going to be using it, and it does help, you know, if you're going to be cutting open a box or anything and you don't want to be way back here on the knife, if you want some finer control. Definitely makes the blade look a little bit funky, but I do like its usefulness. The lockup is a stainless steel liner lock. Full stainless steel liners. They are also black oxide coated. But this is one of my stronger liner locks. I'm not a huge fan of them, but this thing seems a little bit more stout than most. I don't know if it's because of where it's hitting or how thick the liner is, but it just works. It really does. There's no blade play whatsoever. So I really enjoy carrying this thing and using it. And one of my favorite features is this handle here. It's a weird shape. It's definitely angular in its design, but it's just oddly comfortable. It really conforms to your hand and a normal saber grip and this reverse grip. You even have a divot here for your thumb. And then just kind of your normal grip here. Your fingers just kind of fall in line right where they're supposed to. And you got some jimping here on the bottom. Also here on the top, and your wave feature creates your thumb ramp. So this thing just feels so secure in your hand. The handle scales are made out of G10. They do have some 3D machining in there. Decently grippy. Any more, it would probably tear up your pocket. Any less, you know, it would feel you know, just not very textured. So I like the things that they've done with this knife. We also have the normal hardware that you guys have seen before, flathead for your pivot, and then Phillips for your back spacer, and just to disassemble the knife. As you can see here, I am missing a screw from the clip. I don't know what happened there. Maybe I forgot to Loctite it when I disassembled this knife the first time. The clip's still plenty strong. Just kind of one of those weird things. I've heard that these CQC series knives don't have the best hardware, and I can see that. I mean, these screws do strip fairly easily, so be careful if you're gonna adjust it or, you know, take the knife apart. You have a lanyard hole here. So overall, guys, this is kind of a funky looking knife, and you know, it weighs 5.4 ounces, so it's not your featherweight, but it's a big, kind of scary looking knife that really is reminiscent of some of, you know, some real Emerson designs. So a lot of the CQC series is a lot smaller than you'll find, you know, in a real Emerson. But this one's getting closer to something like that. And I like the whole series, guys. I don't think I'm going to go with the 1, 2, or 3. They are too small. But this knife, I mean, for EDC blade, yeah, I think it works. I carry it as that. I mean, it's not a dedicated self-defense knife for me at all. As you can see, I've got some wear marks on it and some burrs in the blade. So I definitely use this thing. I still think the 4K and the 6 and 7 are better options. I have yet to get the CQC 9K. I'm really excited to pick one of those up. But overall, guys, I think if you want something in that CQC series, I think you'll be really impressed with it. You know, the steel's not fantastic. The fit and finish it's pretty good. You know, it's more than adequate. And for your money, you're going to be priced anywhere from 25 to 40. You're going to get some good value out of this knife, and they're just beaters. They're meant to be used. I don't think they're strictly tactical at all. I think it would perform okay in that setting. You know, this isn't a hike knife or anything like that. But one to put in your pocket. You know, you can practice using that wave opener. It's a lot of fun. Just make sure you don't scare anybody with it. And you do have your reversible clip to either side. I almost forgot to talk about that. The skull logo on there, also black painted. And then you do have a just kind of G10 backspacer. So this is mostly closed construction. So guys, overall, very hand-filling, tactical, somewhat larger EDC blade. And if you're a fan of the Tontos, even better. So thanks for watching, guys. As always, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll have more videos coming your way. Thanks.